Welcome to another exciting episode of Koffin Radio. I am Heartthrob Rob, and today I want to talk about the California State University of Fullerton Massacre, which was an incident of mass murder committed by custodian Edward Charles Allaway on July 12, 1976 at Cal State Fullerton in Fullerton, California. So I've been wanting to cover a couple of these infamous murders, man, that have happened in, Orange County's, history. I think a lot of these are slept on or forgotten in time, as this is been over 40 years since this has happened, but we just had the anniversary pass like 3 months ago, and it's something that I've been wanting to talk about. It was the worst at the time. It was the worst mass murder in Orange County until the 2011 Seal Beach shooting, in which 8 people died. So it's pretty crazy, man. You got to think, there's a lot of history. A lot of friends and family have gone to Cal State Fullerton. It's right around the corner from us. And, meanwhile, did we ever know, 40 years ago there was a mass murder there. It was committed by Edward Charles Allaway. Allaway had a history of violence and mental illness. He was diagnosed with paranoid schizophrenia and found insane by a judge after being convicted by a jury. He was initially imprisoned at Patton State Hospital under medical treatment. In 2016, he was transferred to Napa State Hospital. So a little bit about him. The gunman, 37-year-old Edward Charles Allaway, was a custodian at the university's library. Armed with a .22 caliber semi-automatic rifle, he purchased at Buena Park Kmart. You used to be able to get fucking rifles at Kmart? Legit. Allaway killed 7 people and injured 2 others in the library's first floor lobby and at the building's instructional media center located in the basement. So, he got it popping, man. He ended up shooting 9 people. Witnesses told investigators that Allaway's attack began shortly before 7 a.m. He reportedly chased down Deborah Paulson and Donald Carges before killing them, and shot Bruce Jacobson after Jacobson attempted to subdue him with a metal statue. Can you imagine? I'm trying to save the day and I crack you over the head with a metal statue? After shooting Seth Fessensen and Paul Herzberg, he took a service elevator down to the first floor and shot Frank Teplansky. These people all have the worst names. I'm so sorry you died, but geez, these are horrible names. Horrible last names. And left a visiting high school student unharmed. He then shot Stephen Becker before he ran out of bullets. Fucking crazy, man. This custodian, 1976, on a hot day, comes in at before 7 a.m. and starts getting it popping with this rifle, man. Allaway fled the campus and went to the Hilton Inn Hotel, a nearby hotel in Anaheim, where his former wife worked. Anyone knows the area knows it's right next to Cal State Fullerton. I used to live right next door to it, so it's kind of crazy, next to Cal State Fullerton. And the hotel was on the other side of, on the exit. You exit the 57, and then there's those, Chapman. It's just one light down. You know what I'm talking about. So, where his former wife worked, and he telephoned the police to report his actions. He told them, "I went berserk at Cal State Fullerton, and I committed some terrible act. I'd appreciate it if you people would come down and pick me up. I'm unarmed, and I'm giving myself up to you." Allaway was found guilty of 6 counts of first-degree murder and 1 count of second-degree murder. A second phase of the trial determined that he was not sane. 5 different health professionals diagnosed him with paranoid schizophrenia. He presented a history of mental illness as he tried to commit suicide and been hospitalized and treated with electroconvulsive therapy in the past. These fools were shocking him. I don't even think they allow electromagnetic, or what is it, electroconvulsive therapy now. That's like some old school crazy shit they were still pulling off in the 70s. He was committed to the California State Mental Hospital System, beginning at Atascadero State Hospital. He was then transferred and held at Patton State Hospital in San Bernardino. In 2016, he was transferred to the less secure Napa State Hospital. The families of Allaway's victims protested that transfer. I would too, man. If you got to kill one of my fan band, I'm going to come back and get you. He was found to have injured a coworker at Michigan plant a short time before the shooting rampage. He had threatened his wife with a knife and raped her. Allaway's apparent motive was that he had delusions that pornographers were forcing his wife to appear in movies. The couple had separated over Memorial Day weekend 1976 after a blow-up. His wife had filed for divorce shortly before Allaway attacked coworkers at the university. Some guys just can't take it. They lose their chick and they fucking go crazy, man. The defense alleged that the library staff members screened commercial pornography films before library hours and in break rooms, but Allaway's wife was not in them. So these guys were actually watching porn at school libraries, before 7 a.m., before kids got there. But, I mean, fuck, to murder them, because you think your wife is in these movies, even though she's not, you're fucking crazy. After the 1977 jury convicted Allaway of murder, but deadlocked in the sanity phase of the trial, a judge found Allaway not guilty by reason of insanity. By law, defendants found insane are committed to a mental institution until they are found sane. Allaway remained institutionalized at Patton State Hospital for a number of years. During his time at Patton, Allaway's made several failed petitions to the courts asking for his release. He was eventually transferred to Napa State Hospital in 2016, where he currently resides. In the summer of 2009, officials at Patton indicated that Allaway was asymptomatic and had not needed medication, and that they would recommend his release. That's going to be some problems. The district attorney contacted the governor and the state mental health director to protest the hospital's planned action, giving his history of violence and the mass murder. Patton withdrew the recommendation for release a few months later. Nah, we ain't gonna let you slide. Victim Steve Becker's father was the university's founding dean of students. Damn. He provided comments against Allaway's release on several occasions. Quite a long story, man. I mean, for him to go in there blasting on Cal State Fullerton, we think that these mass shootings, had started, in the 90s with Columbine, but, here we are at a university, 20 years prior to that, and it's already happening. The deceased victims were Paul Herzberg, 30, Bruce Jacobson, 32, Donald Cargis, 41, Deborah Paulson, at 25, Seth Fessenden, 72, Frank Tepolansky, 51, Stephen Becker, 32, and the injured victims were Maynard Hoffman, 64, and Donald Curran, 55. Rest in peace to the victims. Kind of crazy, story here to come out of Cal State Fullerton, where I think a lot of friends and family have gone. But, we think of this sometimes as a sleepy town for these kind of things, But look at the rampages people go on, It's not uncommon out here. And I just wanted to share another piece of Orange County history, Another piece of Orange County lore that gets, forgotten in time, I think. But, these murders are more common than you'd think in Orange County, so I want to bring another piece to light. But let me know what you guys think. We'll talk about it in the comments. What did you think of this murder? Did anyone you know or friends or family go to Cal State Fullerton? Did you know about it? Did you know a murder happened in the very halls you walked? But let me know. We'll talk about it. Make sure you like and subscribe. And if you like what you're watching, then hop in the Koffin. Follow us on social media at Koffin Radio. Koffin is spelled with a K. And that's all for today.